Oh, really? Yeah, do Oh, is he here? Yes, the 20th, yeah.
I'd like to call the joint meeting of the Board of Selectmen, School Committee, and Finance Committee to order.
Let me sign
At this point, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On behalf of the joint boards, I welcome everybody here this evening. I'm going to start with a presentation. Keep in mind this presentation is a work in progress, and that we're here to get your input. Feel free to ask questions, but I prefer those questions be kept till after the presentation. We're going to try to answer these questions this evening. Why do we have a revenue shortfall and the need for an override? What can we do about it? What are the components of our revenue? What are the budget scenarios we have investigated? What if we do not pass the proposed override? What does the override provide for? What is the difference between a 1-year and a proposed 3-year override? How will a 3-year override be managed? And what will the override cost me? And we're going to try to answer these questions and then obviously answer any other questions you might have. So starting, why do we have a revenue shortfall and need for an override? One of the prime drivers is the fixed costs are increasing at a rate exceeding Proposition 2.5. State aid is insufficient and unpredictable to fill the gap between cost and revenue, and our school enrollment is increasing. And this is an example of where the revenue shortfall is coming from. If you look at the cost of our health insurance in 2004 was a little over $2,600,000, and here we are in FY08, and we got numbers from the insurance company, and we have to shell out $4,171,000 to cover our health insurance costs. And these big increases are the first things that come off of our revenue, leaving after fixed costs money for both town government and the school department. We also, our pensions are constantly increasing, and our retirements are up and down, as you can see here, but the health insurance and the pensions are some of the bigger items that impact the amount of money we have each year as a result of Proposition 2.5 to cover general government and school budgets. So what can we do about it? Well, in the short term, we can cut services, and we'll talk a little bit tonight about the impact of balancing a budget based on our current projected revenue. We can request a budget override, and we're going to talk about that this evening. And we can hope that we can get a lot of citizens out there to lobby the State House for additional state aid. And I know there's a group out in the community working on that issue. Long term, we need to start to look at controlling our salary growth. Just an example, general government salary growth is in 2007 and 2008 is about 2.48%. In the school side, it's much more than that. And a factor of that has got to do with the number of steps in the school process and the overall contracts. We can increase fees. Right now, about $120,000 of our general government budget goes to trash. Even though we have a trash fee, it's supplemented by the town budget. We will have to be, especially in the future, looking at making changes there and maybe having fees cover the entire cost of trash. One big area that we need to focus on is negotiating reduced employee benefits. The copay, reduced town share of health insurance premium is a possibility. And of course, you've read about the legislature's changing and allowing perhaps going forward the town to participate in the state health care program, which might also reduce our cost or certainly reduce the percentage increase on a going basis. Seek regionalization of services. An example of that would be maybe regional dispatch in the police and fire. What are the components of our revenue? We need to take a look at this. there's a lot of rumors that go out about where the Chapter 70 goes and, what makes up our overall revenue dollars. And this little pie chart sort of gives you an idea. 67% of each dollar that we have for revenue comes from our local tax. 6% currently is our exempt tax. This is the overrides, debt overrides, paying for the Batchelder School, the police station project, the Smith property that we recently took, and more recently in October, the modular classrooms for the middle school. Fees represent 10% of each dollar that we have to spend, and these are the one big fee is your excise tax on your automobiles, and there are many other fees that the town charges that go into that category. Then from the state aid side, we get about 3% of each dollar that we spend from the lottery. From Chapter 70, we get 12%. And then there's a mix of other little items accounting for 2%. So that's the mix, that's the complete makeup of our tax dollar, our revenue dollar. If you look at our revenue estimate, and this is a revenue estimate exclusive of exempt debt,